back to That Dad Guy. I was debating on whether or not today was going to be a postcard writing day or a stamp day, so I've decided to go with stamp day. As you will have seen in my weekly mailbox, what I got was 3 envelopes from 3 different people that included stamps for me. So I have John in Scotland, Lewis in Abu Dhabi, and Julia in Russia that have all sent stamps. So I wanted to show what they sent. So I'm going to say thank you so much for their generosity, first of all, and thank you so much for all of you who are watching, subscribing, and liking, and commenting, of course. So I appreciate all that. I try not to do too much these days, still recovering from COVID, and it's taken a while to get out of my system. It kind of feels like someone's sitting on my chest now with the cough that I have and the congestion that I have. But every day I hope is getting better. It's just lingers for a long time. So I try not to do too much. So today I'm going to show you some stamps. Let's start with this one here from Julia in Russia. So you can see the stamps. It's very cool. Can't remember what in 2014 Russia is celebrating for hockey there. And so if you know, let me know. Anyways, here is what she sent. She got it in this nice folded sticker bag. Let's get into that. Be careful not to damage these stamps here. See the single one in there. I won't take it out. The deer. And then there's a series of military stamps. So we have naval. We have army with an old tank. We have a machine gun. And then we have these new stamps. There's the old cars. I love how it has all the additional part to it too, that she's included that. That scene. Here we have some construction vehicles. Ooh, lift them up here. Try not to get too much of a glare of the light. Aviation. Well, these ones are just like paintings. Not sure what they're paintings of. Well, I mean, I'm not sure who painted them, I guess is what I should say. But 2014 they came out. Then we have this one that's officially canceled. If you know what it says, let me know. And this one here, beautiful colors, very peaceful looking. One more little tiny stamp. I'll leave it on the page. So thank you, Yulia, for sending all those stamps. That's great. Nice addition to the collection. I will put them aside here for now. And then we'll move into the next one. So this one came from Lewis in Abu Dhabi. Pages out. He's put them on these things, and they're all Spanish stamps, so I can tell you that right off the bat. So even though he's in Abu Dhabi, he also has a place in Spain. That's why I wanted to go through the stamps a little bit. He has sent a lot of stamps here. And I love how they're all well positioned together. You got birds in Spain, there's a butterfly, there's a couple of butterflies. I think what I will do is I will slide them out, and then I can put them back in after. Should have tweezers for this, but I don't right now. So. Only way for you to really get a chance to see what he's put. He said we're duplicates from his collection. So it's kind of nice that he's passed them along to my father. My father has some Spanish stamps, but not a lot. He seems to have collected a few from each country in Europe, especially when he was trading with people. He had a stamp dealer in the Netherlands that used to send him 100 stamps at a time. And then he would send 100 Canadian in return. So he did get a few different countries that way, but never a lot from really one country. I would say his biggest countries that he has European stamps from is Great Britain, because that's where he's from. And he had a German collector, so he got some German, and he has some stamps from the Netherlands as well, which I'll get a chance to show you at some point in time. And this next batch seems to be a whole series here. Oh. Arches and castles. Lovely architecture in Spain. Show you the one that dropped. Yeah, so there's a whole series of those. And they seem to continue on to this. I would say that's one whole series of arches and things like that. So we'll keep those all together. And then we have this one here that has regional flags within Spain. And that was the first sleeve, but he wasn't done. He sent a second sleeve. So I'm going to put these stamps aside so they stay together. And then you can see the flags that he's included. There's a whole series of those too. I don't know if this is a complete set or not, but there's certainly a lot of them. I'm going to put the original ones that he gave me and put them together. Let me get the next row of stamps out here. Trying hard not to fold them or anything. So the best way to use is tweezers for that. You can see the euro is marked on it, so they're relatively newer. Put all sorts of images. Search and rescue and cell phones. Religious. Some instruments. And the final row apple a day keeps the doctor away, maybe. Some more instruments. So a whole series of instruments. A variety of guitars, tambourines. I know some stamp collectors collect based on images, so they may collect just flags or just flowers or all sorts of things. My father was never that way. He collects based on not having the stamp. So he likes everything from around the world, and he likes the images, and so this is great. These are be all piles of new stamps that he probably has never seen. So I look forward to getting that to him. Now, finally, this letter came from John in Scotland. And let's pull this out here. He had a sleeve of stamps as well that he had found. And His are not based on country. He had just a bunch of things from around the world that he had stamps from. So in this case, there's a Canadian stamp. So what I'm going to do here is I will empty out the sleeve too, and then we can go through and figure out what countries they're from. And in the future, we'll have to sort them by that as well. I'm just going to take this whole side of stamps out. They don't seem to be in any particular order. And then once I've done that side, we'll look at the other side. So the very first one I see, well, after that Canadian one, is this one here from the Vatican Post. There's another one from the Vatican. So we're going to have a few, I think. I'll put the Canadian one aside. Vatican. There's one from Hong Kong. Oh, Slovenia. This one just says postage, 1.5 with the crown on it. So I'm not sure which one that one is. There's a Spain. There's Malta. There's one from India. There's another Slovenian stamp. Where's my Slovenia? I'm going to try to... Tangier. South Africa. So South Africa. Nyasaland. I'm not sure if this is an African stamp. Some Libyan, or Liban, I think it's Libyan. There's another Canadian one, and a Slovenian one. There's Republic de Haute-Volta. So once again, I'm thinking it's probably a African country with the French influence there. There's an Italian one. There's an American one, Copernicus. Another Vatican Post. Republic de Homi. I do not know where that is, but some of you other philatelists may. And there's another monarch of that original series. Another Slovenian. Another Italian, Italian. And one from New Zealand. All right, now let's flip over and do the other side that he had included. A minute to pull them out of the sleeve here. And oh boy, this is exciting. What will be next? Where are they coming from? I see some older stamps in here too. Perfect. All right, so the first one. Oops, they're sticking to my sleeve. This one here from Australia. Melbourne Olympic Games, 1956. One stamp that has fallen on the floor. Oh, here, two stamps. So this is an old Canadian one with Queen Victoria on it. And there's another one from Malta. And then, we have another Queen Victoria, Canada. Maroc, so Is this Morocco, maybe? Southern Rhodesia, which I believe has changed its name. So if you know its new name, let me know. And I may be completely mistaken on that, but this one here from Nigeria. There's the United States. Still on this backing paper, so that will have to get soaked off. So a little tiny Italian one. So when people say Canadians have tiny stamps, I think all countries have tiny stamps. It's just a matter of which stamps we get to see out in the world, especially the ones that are going off. Here's another one from Malta. I think the more colorful, bigger stamps tend to be used within a country, and the little tiny stamps are used for international post. There's another Malta. There's a COVID stamp from Sri Lanka. And then another one from Morocco. Another Australian stamp. And Malta again. Lots of ones from Malta and Slovenia. Another one from Ireland. See if we can adjust on it. There we go. I think I've been saying Italy. I went and said it's Ireland. It's Ireland for sure. Malta. I don't know why I'd say it was Italy. There's one for India. That's another one for Ireland. Yugoslavia. Canada. The last one. There's another one from Ireland. It'll adjust. So there you go. So there are quite a few stamps that were sent. Really appreciate it. Came from all over. The ones from Scotland there's a variety of European and some African countries in there, with a few Canadian and Americans mixed in, and a few Australian from down under. So a very global amount. And then, of course, you've got the ones from directly from Spain, from Lewis, and the ones from Yulia or Julia in Russia. So thank you so much for all those. Great collection. And for those of you who are philatelists and love stamp collecting, maybe this is a little bit of a treat to see some older stamps and where they come from. So hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll get you more content coming out soon, and stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?